Hello, fellow freaks. Goth Mermaid Gamer here, back with another video reaction. SonicHaXD has released another chapter in the uh, Mortal Kombat 1 Doesn't Suck series. This time it's Kenshi! Yay! My other favorite. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into this. And play.
We now transition from Act 1, the tournament arc, to Act 2, the Shang Tsung investigation arc. We head to the Fire Temple, where Geras shows up to greet
Oh, nice
Liu
fan
Kang.
It
art.
resolves into a dark-skinned man with glowing eyes and a bald head.
Geras has been reconstructed
Bold.
by Liu Kang, from Kronika's mindless boring jobber, to now a much more interesting character.
Yes.
Here we get a very important lore drop.
You are relishing your role as Earthrealm's protector.
It suits me far better than being Keeper of Time ever did.
Liu Kang does not have the power of the Hourglass anymore. He relinquished it, and lived among the mortals as Earthrealm's protector, while Geras volunteers to safeguard and watch over the Hourglass. This actually helps explain a big issue with the plot. Whenever something bad happens, people would say, why doesn't Liu Kang just solve it with a snap of a finger?
True.
Isn't he God? Is he stupid? It turns out, he already gave up his powers, and he wants to solve these issues the mortal way. There's actually another goal as to why Liu Kang renounced his powers, and I absolutely love this reasoning.
I never wanted to replace Kronika.
So, Kronika
Yep.
is my personal most hated character in the series. From her abilities, her plans, and how stupid she is, to
Yep.
her entire existence taking over the Mortal Kombat lore forever. But there's
Yeah.
one thing about her that I truly despise. Why is she doing all this? What is her motive?
Why do you want to do this?
The Thunder God has upset the balance of history.
Yeah, I know the what, but I don't know the why. Why do you want to restart the universe?
Good
What is
question.
it that truly makes you want to do this?
We truly don't understand why she is so
Yeah, they
persistent
didn't
on
explain
getting
it
the
very
golden
well.
balance for the universe. Well, in Geras's MK11 arcade ending, they semi-gave a reason.
Timeline after timeline, my frustration grew. I began to understand why Kronika had been driven to madness.
And in M1K, they straight up confirm it.
Being history's architect drove her mad.
She's fucking crazy. Every stupid thing she did in MK11 can all be explained with, she went mad. Yes, thank you NRS.
Yeah.
I love this explanation. This actually makes me hate Kronika less. Like, by 12%.
Yeah.
Dearest then explains
Just
the reasoning as to why
just titty.
he's here.
Shang
Tiny bit.
Tsung.
Did I just accidentally say titty? I'm sorry.
He has escaped his meaningless life.
He's escaped his meaningless life.
So,
Damn.
I can't believe I have
Just
to say
dragging,
that,
bro.
but there are people actually defending Shang Tsung here, and say that Liu Kang is too cruel to Shang Tsung.
Do
by
you know
giving
who
him a
Shang Tsung
meaningless life.
is, people?
Liu Kang has every reason to commit anti-friendship to Shang Tsung with everything he's done in the previous timeline.
For
I
real.
resent what you've done to me in this timeline.
And I what you've done in all others.
In
That's
fact,
right.
he already wanted to erase him in MK Aftermath.
No more timelines will be twisted by your evil.
So Liu Kang showing mercy and allowing Shang to still live is a sign of how benevolent he
That's
is.
true. At least
In
he let
fact,
him live.
There is a reason why Liu
Why is
Kang
my
gave
eye going
Shang Tsung a
wonky?
meaningless life.
Your plan to punish me has failed.
I wished to reform you, not punish you.
Liu Kang finds Shang Tsung regaining power troublesome, so he's going to investigate.
Please return to the Hourglass and see what else you can learn.
They seriously just stare at each other for like 4 seconds. We cut to the next day.
Yeah, I remember that part. That kind of tripped me up. I was like, okay, next scene. Next scene, please. Anytime now. Okay, why are we just awkwardly staring at each other for a prolonged, few seconds? This is getting awkward.
Chapter 4. Kenshi.
It's lying time.
Liu Kang assigns Kenshi,
It's what?
Kung Lao, and Johnny to capture Shang Tsung.
I just can't get my nose right.
The three of them are also all wearing new armor suits. Kenshi
Yeah.
wishes for Raiden to join them, but Liu Kang wants this to be a stealth mission, and Raiden is quite the celebrity in Outworld now.
Your name is still on Sundo's lips.
I can't believe I made such an impression.
Due to the tournament, Raiden is now a familiar
Cute
face there.
cupcake.
Honestly, this is a
Cinnamon
pretty dumb
roll.
reason. Like, do you think people will not recognize the other Earth roamers? Yeah, Liu Kang. Don't send the Lin Kui, the assassins, on a stealth mission, who no one in Outworld will recognize. It's better to send the 3 champions, who Liu Kang totally didn't introduce to the princesses.
I guess that's a good
Princess
point.
Melina. May I introduce Johnny Cage, Kung Lao, Kenshi Takahashi?
Now, even though the reasoning for Raiden not going is dumb, I think it's fantastic from a narrative perspective. Think about it.
True.
If Raiden went with them, he would either have his protagonist powers kick in and beat everybody, which would be boring. Or he could start taking L's, which would be lame, considering how he just won a tournament against Outworld's strongest warriors.
Yeah, for real, like, even my mom was talking about that. She was like, okay, how is this little Asian man beating up all these giant people? Like, she likes more realism than she does, like, fantasy stuff, so yeah, I can, from her point of view, I can see why that bothered her. That is a good... And some people are going to wonder that, like, so if you can't have him be OP because, you know, that's boring, but you can't have him start being, you know, not OP, the opposite of that, because then that's not convincing that he just beat up all these other great warriors, so yeah.
So just don't let him go. Now the focus can be given to the 3 other champions, who have been sidelined up to this point. Though I will say, I do wish Raiden could at least be here to say goodbye. What the heck is he even doing? Hanging out with his other best friend? The 3 amigos embark on their journey.
A
They
little
get
goodbye
teleported
would
to
have
a
been
desert
nice,
and
just
walk
for a few
towards
seconds.
Shank's son.
I'm already lucky. I've got Sento
Like a few
strapped to my
seconds
back.
scene.
Why? No, seriously, why did you bring Sento? Up to this point, you've never wielded a sword.
Because, dude, he's trying to rub it in Kenshi's face that he still has it and Kenshi doesn't. I figured you would have realized that.
I know this sets up for one of the best bromance scene ever, but Johnny bringing Sento honestly just feels like he's taunting Kenshi.
Yeah.
Which might have been the point.
Yes.
Johnny then offers to...
Precisely, that was the point. It was just to get on his nerves, just to get on his nerves, exactly. Just to taunt him.
sell Sento for a small loan of $3 million, which Kenshi obviously doesn't have. And then Johnny says something really brutal.
I bet your Yakuza pals could come up with it.
Yeah, that
that's
wasn't
right.
cool.
You blew him off. If there's one lesson Hollywood's taught me, it's never burn bridges.
Almost every NRS game, Johnny will somehow really piss off someone.
Yeah.
It's been lady problems in the past, but this time, he really hit a nerve for Kenshi.
Yeah, that wasn't really cool of him to say. I think he obviously regretted saying it later, but yeah, in the moment it was like, dude, not cool.
The Yakuza are horrible people that prey on the weak, so Kenshi wants to save his clan from their misery. This makes for a very serious scene, but I can't help but laugh at Kenshi pointing a flashlight at Johnny.
The Yakuza are leeches.
I got out. How dare you take my flashlight?
That part.
Just flash him.
Yeah, that part made me giggle when Kung Lao just kind of, like, it was almost like he was saying, "Ha, he told you." He got you there, man.
The Yakuza are leeches.
They then head to the Tarkatan colony.
No! No! Baraka! No! Not Baraka! Feet! Thank you. Thank you for the feet shot. We needed that.
Firelight shines on his multitude of large fangs and bald head.
And then Shang's
Bald
son,
head.
the East character in Mortal Kombat appears.
The wound will heal in time.
No!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the heal wound in time. Don't worry about it.
The Tarkatans and soldiers get into a fight.
Wait, did he just accidentally say heal will wound in time? Little slip up. Bruh, where were you aiming? Whoa!
The gang go in to save Shang Tsung because they need him alive to question him. Shang Tsung shapeshifts to escape.
Transforms into a toothy creature.
Toothy creature.
Then Kenshi fights Baraka.
I love how he I love how he points out the background silliness like that.
Cotton Colony has some pretty interesting things in the background. There is a man who is completely infected by Tarkat, but only on his right side.
Whoa!
There is an armadillo-like creature on the right of the stage, and when you do a brutality, you can scare it. There's a Tarkatan on the left of the stage, who will be really into your fighting. There is one fellow in particular that I find very funny. If you pick the daytime variation, then go to the left of the stage, you'll see a shocked Tarkatan. And he'll start pointing right. He's trying his best to get your attention, to look at the dirt.
Look at it!
Now, no
Hey, you got some dirt? Anybody got some dirt? You remember that old Markiplier meme joke thing? Yeah, some dirt. Have you seen any? It's not a pile. Whatever. A big pile of dirt. Yeah, my itch. Anyways.
Powers Kenshi is a lot weirder compared to No Powers Raiden and Kung Lao. Kenshi has two stances. Normal stance, which I will also call Sheath stance. In this stance, Kenshi has more psychic abilities, and the sword floats around more. Sento stance, which I will also call Unsheath stance, has Kenshi pulling out his katana, and it summons his ancestor. This is one of the coolest mechanics in the game, and makes Kenshi one of the hardest puppeteer type characters in the roster. Now here's where things get interesting. When your ancestor is out, you can't use your cameo fighter, and your cameo bar is now used to indicate how long the ancestor can be out. When the bar is used up, the ancestor will vanish. However, Kenshi will still be in Sento stance, just without his ancestor, and this turns him into the worst character in the game. What makes Sento stance strong is the 2v1 gang up ability, but without your ancestor, you're basically handicapping yourself. You're playing Baby Diva, so what you need to do is find time to go back into normal stance, so your character won't be shot anymore. Alternatively, before the cameo bar is used up, you can use enhanced spiritual alignment to refill the bar and repeat the cycle of bullying again.
The end is never the end is never the end is never the...
By the way, when you sheath your katana, it's called Banish Ancestor. You fucking banish your ancestry every time you put your sword away.
That's not cool.
You're banished.
Sento.
You can stay. But I'm...
Sento.
So who's banished?
Now after that long detour, let's go back to the story mode. The Kenshi you're playing here is Sento stance without his ancestor. You're...
Yeah, I was about to say that would make more sense. Yeah, thanks for the battle strat there. Appreciate that.
Not just playing a worse version of a character. You're playing a character who only has a quarter of his moveset left. So excuse my gameplay for making him look bad, but I literally can only do about 20% damage with his combos. Now, I'm going to go on.
Bro, I get by just barely on these fighting games. I'm one of those I'm one of those button mashers. So don't worry about it. Don't sweat it.
On a very random tangent, because of a rabbit hole I accidentally fell into. And let me be clear, I'm not a nitpicker.
Ha! Cinema Sins.
Okay, I'm not always a nitpicker, but I wouldn't have noticed this detail if I wasn't trying to appreciate Kenshi's katana. Let me explain. Before Kenshi gets Sento, he has his own katana, the Tsugaru, which he uses in Chapter 2, 3, and 4. The Tsugaru is a pretty sick-looking sword. I especially like the sheath. That's when I noticed something in gameplay. When Kenshi summons the ancestor, his sheath turns into the ancestor. The animation is really cool. But how does it work in the story mode, since Kenshi doesn't have powers yet? In Chapter 2 and 3, when you fight Kenshi, he's already pulled out the katana, so there's no issue hiding the sheath. But for Chapter 4, they're going to have to show it somehow. Kenshi carries his katana on his back. By the way, in the character select screen, he won't have the katana on his back. Instead, his sheath will just float right next to him, which is kind of raw. When Kenshi fights Baraka, he pulls out his sword,
it's his telekinesis
and then the
abilities.
Just disappears. A small mistake. Don't think it's that big of a deal. But then I saw it. A mistake. That ain't small.
What?
Kenshi holding? It's not the Tsugaru anymore. It's Sento. It's
What?
fucking Sento. How did you get this wrong? Even right before this
Bro,
fight, the
come
katana
on,
is still
guys.
the Tsugaru. So how the f did this happen? And the worst part, this happens in the entire chapter. It will be the Tsugaru in the cutscenes, but during gameplay, it'll switch to Sento. They got it right in chapter 2, and wrong again in chapter 3. Kenshi's journey is to
That's
earn the
weird.
right to hold Sento. So what's the point of it, if he's already using it? You know what? Fine. It's only in the gameplay parts.
Yeah.
They can always patch this. They can always fix this issue. It's not like this is a pre-rendered cutscene, where you can't change it.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Oh?
In chapter 3, when the gang are in out-
Yeah, we'll just call that a boo-boo. Just an oversight. But it's not exactly, like... Doesn't really take you out of the game in the moment or whatever. Because I didn't even really pay attention to it till he pointed it out, so yeah. Just a little oopsie.
world, Kenshi brings that Tsugaru with him. And when they enter Sindel's palace, it's gone. It's gone for the entirety of chapter 3.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. Maybe you're not allowed to bring weapons into the palace.
I imagine
But
that's
if
probably
the
it, yeah.
case, why was Kung Leo allowed to bring his razor-rimmed hat? Anyway.
I guess because technically it's a hat first. I don't know, maybe.
That's not the point.
That's not the issue.
Before they go to Outworld, when they're in the fire temple, Kenshi is holding Sento. How do you fuck up this bad? Am I
Come
going
on,
insane?
guys.
Am I the only one who gives a shit about this? Am I going to have Vietnam War flashbacks every time I look at Kenshi sword now? Let's get back on track.
Oh my god, yeah, it's an oopsie, but it's like... It's one of those, you won't notice it unless you're looking for it kind of things. I feel, you know. But, yeah. It's not quite that huge. It is like a, uh-oh, guys, you made a boo-boo. Made a couple oopsie doodles. But, yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't notice it unless you're looking for it or somebody pointed it out to you. Why are my eyes doing that? Sorry.
Before I... There's a pretty funny mid-match dialogue. And by funny, I mean I think it's another mistake.
You haven't stopped him. You've just made him angry.
What the hell are you talking about? You just made him angry? Who are you even talking to?
Maybe he's talking to himself.
What's supposed to happen is like in previous NRS games. You were supposed to be able to pick who you want to play as. And if you pick Johnny, Kenshi would say this to you.
You haven't stopped him. You've just made him angry.
Kenshi calms down the bold creature and tries to explain the situation.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
I know what this looks
Spring
like,
cap.
but we don't work for Shang Tsung.
Baraka then explains the victims of Tarkat to the trio. Tarkatans are way more tragic in this timeline. In previous games, Tarkatans were just one of the brutal species in Outworld. But in M1K, Tarkat is a disease. It slowly infects and disfigures the body. You'll then start to gradually lose your mind and turn into a bloodthirsty monster.
Aww.
And at the end of this suffering, you die.
Death is our only release.
That's so
the only
sad.
upside of Tarkat is that you get cool Wolverine blades. Baraka agrees to let the trio go and help them on this quest to capture Shang Tsung. They head to Shang Tsung's laboratory.
Stay here. We'll check it out.
Seriously? There is literally no disadvantage bringing him.
Oh, I would have liked the assistance, but okay. Bye-bye, Baraka.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
My guess is it would have made the fight choreography harder or something.
It
But
could
either
be.
way,
I should have gone with you into Shang Tsung's laboratory.
the trio
Yeah.
sneak into the lab and see that Shang Tsung is about to infect Princess Melina with Tarkat.
Because it is brewed from freshly extracted Tarkatan marrow.
Why does it look so funny?
The trio show up to
Well,
stop
that's how...
him.
Well, I mean, that's just what happens when you look into a liquid reflection. It's gonna warp things a little bit.
Get away from her.
You bitch!
Language!
Language!
Fuck that!
And an all-out brawl begins. Tanya takes on Johnny and Kung Leo. Kenshi kicks the serum out of Shang Tsung's hand. And Rain literally just stood there and did nothing for 10 seconds.
Yeah, come on, Rain. Get your head in the game.
I need time.
Shang Tsung tells Rain to cover him while he makes another serum.
Which wouldn't have been an issue if Rain wasn't T-posing for 10 seconds.
Kenshi fights Rain. If you go all the way to the left of the stage, you can see Melina laying on the operating bed. You can see Shang Tsung's artistic skills all over the stage. There's a book that reads, The Hot New Celebrity Trend, starring Berry Man, and Shang wants to suck his soul. There's a book that reads,
What?
Go now dog, God dog dog dog, no dog, and a model of a pyramid that looks suspiciously familiar. Kenshi wins.
The High Mage is brought low.
Lamau.
Lamau. Oh, come on, man.
Then Kenshi fights Tanya, and since Rain is her cameo fighter, he currently is only pretending to be defeated. Kenshi wins. Then they confront Shang Tsung.
This is twice you've been a thorn in my side.
Actually, they saved Geras the first time.
Yeah.
Kenshi goes to free Melina, which somehow sparked the Kenshi x Melina ship.
Oh god, please don't remind me. You realize that her and Tanya are canon as a couple, right? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to judge people's ships. I know you shouldn't do that. I shouldn't, but like, come on, people, make it make sense.
It turns out, Shang Tsung.
I mean, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go off this again. It's like he said somehow it sparked it. Like, he was literally just doing his job, going to check up on her to make sure she was okay. One tiny scene? Really? Alright, whatever. I'm sorry. I'll shut up about it now.
Wasn't trying to infect Melina with Tarkat. He was trying to cure her of it. So now Melina has activated Tarkat mode. Fun fact, there is a theory that Shang Tsung was the one
Does that say I banged your mom?
who infected Melina with Tarkat. Because her Tarkatan mouth doesn't look like other Tarkatans, but it suspiciously looks like Shang Tsung's baby dragon in his fatality.
Yeah, the bottom part splits open. That's true.
Not much merit to this theory, but it's a cute theory nonetheless.
Yeah.
You know, if I were a bloodthirsty monster looking for some fresh juicy meat, I'd probably go for Tanya. She's just lying there unconscious. Luckily for her, she magically disappears in the next shot.
Of course.
Isn't that convenient?
Kenshi and Johnny try to stop Melina, while Kung Lao just stands next to Shang Tsung. What the f*** are you doing?
He's
Something
watching
I
Shang
never noticed
Tsung.
on my first playthrough is that Melina isn't holding her size, so she only uses kicks and rolls in her moveset.
Right.
Whatever we do, we can't hurt her.
Remember, don't hurt her. Don't hurt her. Oh my gosh, don't hurt her. Don't hurt her, guys, please.
They defeat her.
Johnny, Kung Lao. Kung Lao.
They try to sedate her, but she breaks free. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I pretty much had the same reaction. I was like, no! Yeah.
Kenshi's canon event happens. Kenshi isn't dead, just blinded. Then Shang Tsung sedates Melina and alleviates her Tarkat symptoms. Kitana, Goro, and General Shao show up.
What's happened here?
Shao.
Why did she say sorcerer like a slur?
What's happened here?
Excuse me?
Shang Tsung lies and says that the Earthrealmers came here to sabotage Melina's treatment.
What? That's totally fake news! Princess, we were...
Yep, that's me.
By the way, Goro walks super slow towards Johnny.
What? That's totally fake news!
Now, I won't be dedicating time
I love that
to talk about every single cameo fighter
moving
that
sound.
appears in the story mode, but I do have a lot to say about Goro. So, let's break it down. Goro.
And by let's break it down, I mean let's fucking break up Goro! I really wasn't planning on doing this.
Oh.
Like, I really was not planning to do a finger cam rant on a cameo fighter, but the more I thought about it, the more angry I got, and I was just like eventually thinking,
why?
Yeah, let's just turn the camera on and start talking this forearm being. In Mortal Kombat 1, there are a couple of characters that I've seen opinions that are saying things like, oh, this character is ugly now. Oh, this character is wearing too much clothes. Oh, this character is just worse compared to how they looked in the previous games. And I genuinely think Goro takes the cake on all of those. I remember when the first gameplay trailer dropped, when the first time everybody got to see Goro, they were saying things like, oh, who is that character? Ooh, like, oh, is that like a new Shokan? Like, oh, look, this is like a very...
I immediately knew it was Goro. What are you talking about?
Nobody wanted to admit or accept that that was actually going to be fucking Goro. How the fuck did the design team get the one aspect, the one thing that makes Goro iconic wrong?
Yeah, I'm confused here. What is he getting at?
Oh, and no, I'm not talking about the 4 arms. No. We have like 3 other Shokans in universe that are popular now too. And also a Naknada with 6 arms. So 4 arms is not that special anymore. No. That's so 30 years ago, okay? You see, the thing that made Goro iconic is the fact that he's a big, muscly, juicy boy. Dude, you look huge. He was bigger than Shao Kahn. Shao friggin' Kahn! That's like a Goro throughout the NRS timeline. Let's just compare and see his designs here. In MK9, he was a big, beefy, juicy boy that we all know and love.
I guess I didn't really pay it any attention, because he's just a cameo fighter, and he just shows up for, like, that one scene, maybe?
Fantastic. Great job. In MKX, they nerfed his size a bit. And the main reason they did this is because he was actually going to be fully playable, and so if he was still a giant hulk of meat, it would be a little bit imbalanced. And this, back in 2015, already pissed off some people. Like, I remember people were not happy with Goro being slightly smaller compared to how he was in MK9. And now we jump cut to M1K. What the fuck is this tiny midget? Dude, you look small. When he stands next to General Shao, he looks shorter. In Mortal Kombat X, you had the excuse that he was going to be playable.
Okay, now when they actually compare him, I can see what he means. He is much smaller. Aren't Shokuns supposed to be, like, anywhere between, like, 7 and, like, 9 feet tall or something like that? Yeah. And I guess his torso was a little bit small. Okay, I see what you mean now.
And that's why you reduced his size a bit. What excuse do you have for when he is a freaking cameo fighter? Ed Boon, Ed mother frifing Boon said this.
Some that kind of couldn't possibly be controlled characters are going to be cameo characters.
Wait, characters that can't be controlled, meaning what? Were not playable in the previous games but appeared in the games?
Yes.
One of the major points for cameo fighters is to have weirdos that can't be playable in the franchise because their body proportions don't allow them to be fatality. And that's why Motaro is a cameo fighter.
Yeah, Motaro. I've seen people do like mod things with the PC version to get him in there to, do a fatality on him, and it does not turn out well. He like splits into another Motaro model, and he's like standing up on his tail, all weird. Yeah, it is weird.
And he looks great! So what's the excuse for not giving us big, hunky, chunky Goro? Now, I want to talk about Goro's fashion sense. And there lies the problem. Why is he wearing clothes? I don't want to sound like a conservative seeing someone with a mask on the road, but take it off! Take off your clothes! Take off your pants! Don't make me go over there and rip it off myself! You were always so proud to show your muscles, so why are you covering them up? You used to wear a thong, for crying out loud. A thong! SMH. Modern gaming and their politics. Am I right? Now how am I supposed to fap to it? Now let's talk about Goro's lore.
And yes, I saw that.
You thought we were just going to end it on body shaming him? No. We are going deep. deep into his files. We are looking through his internet history. We are finding that song. In the old timelines, in the games and movies, Goro was called upon to fight in the Mortal Kombat tournament, specifically to fight the Great Kung Lao because he defeated Shang Tsung. Goro defeats the Great Kung Lao, then goes on to win 9 tournaments in a row. Then things start to go downhill for him. He loses the next tournament, he loses to more fighters, dies in embarrassing ways. In MK11, the king of the Shoukons should be Goro, but it ain't. It's Shiva, because Goro is dead in that timeline. But, even with all these elves...
Hey, I stan Queen Shiva, okay?
Goro still has beating the Great Kung Lao and 9 Mortal Kombat win streaks under his belt, which is the main reason why OG MK fans still respect Goro to this day, because of those main 2 things. It doesn't matter how bad it gets for Goro, it doesn't matter how embarrassing things happen to him, he still has those 2 main things that make him respectable and strong. So, in Mortal Kombat 1, he still has them, right? We don't know what happens to the Great Kung Lao. In fact, it's kind of left up as a mystery, but if Goro did, I think we would have known that by now. And Goro doesn't have his 9 win streak in this timeline because Liu Kang said,
Earthrealm and Outworld have long been evenly matched.
And more importantly, Goro wasn't even in the tournament. He didn't get name dropped until chapter 4. Goro isn't the champion of Mortal Kombat. He isn't representing the strongest might Outworld has to go into the tournament anymore. He's just a soldier, and that's it. That's all he is in this timeline. He's just a plain, regular soldier. Not even second in command, that's Reiko. What a complete deterioration of a character. Honestly, I'd rather have Kentaro. Kentaro is a furry version of Goro, and he has a lot less lore.
Yeah.
And because of that, I would not mind if he's just a regular-ass soldier. Heck, you know what? I'd rather if Goro wasn't even in the roster. At least then you could have some intrigue about him. Ooh,
True.
What are the Shoukons doing? Where is Goro? Ooh, how is their relationship with Outworld? Ooh, Gorbak. Gorbak is mentioned. Ooh, that could...
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can't fix my tracking. I need to calibrate it again. Hold on. Okay, maybe that fixed it.
Can lead to something interesting. That could lead to nowhere! It leads to nowhere! He's just a boring-ass soldier! It's a real shame, too, because if they ever make a sequel to this game, or even an expansion, I still don't think there's anything interesting that they can do with Goro. Like, where do you go with this character? He's just set up as a nobody now. And more importantly, I don't think anybody cares. I don't think anybody's gonna care what they do with him anymore. He's literally just a dust in the wind. I don't think he's the worst character in the story mode, because, like, he's just a soldier. That's just mediocre. But I do think he is the worst character when compared to his previous counterparts. From champion of Mortal Kombat to now just a soldier.
Yeah, that is a letdown.
My fat material.
We should detain the Earth Realmers and attack.
Okay, you know what? I agree with him, honestly. I didn't really think about it, but he's right. That is a serious downgrade. I guess because I don't really ever give too much thought to Goro. Maybe that's why I didn't pay it any attention, but I see what he means now, and yeah, that is a massive downgrade.
Cotton we found outside.
Baraka just stood there and did nothing, and then randomly got captured LMAO.
Oof.
That this incident proved...
Hello there.
Then a green portal appears.
Hello there. General Kenobi. The singing chibis are back. Yay!
A bold Outworlder.
OMG.
Bold.
It's Quan Chi. What a reveal. Who would have
Right?
thought? Who would have thought? Everyone. People already noticed that he was in the trailer's LMAO.
Oh, well, I didn't.
He then explains how this event is confirmation of his prophecy.
Today's events were foretold in the final...
Yeah, well, I didn't. Probably, I guess I only saw one of the trailers, so I didn't know he was in it. So when he showed up, I was like, "Oh, is that Kenshi?"
Quatrains of the prophecy.
Oh, so today's events were foretold in the prophecies. That's great. So why the fuck didn't you warn any of us about Melina's ambush then, huh?
Quan Chi stares unblinkingly.
Kitana then leaves with Melina, so now the three of them can talk more evilly about their plans. Basically, they want to start a war with Earthrealm.
Our world needs a steadfast leader.
A leader like you, perhaps.
Oh.
Two birds, one stone.
They also mention a mysterious benefactor, and Quan Chi, just like Shang Tsung, also had a meaningless life working in the mines before the mysterious benefactor intervened. Fun fact, even though our heroes are captured and thrown into the flesh pits, if you lose to Rain or Tanya, you will be captured by the Ungaddy and get executed. So, it's scientifically better to be captured by Shang Tsung than Tanya.
How deliciously cold-blooded.
Welcome to the Double ID. Interesting intro dialogues, where we look at character intro dialogues to gain more information about the current chapter we're on. Melina is genuinely sorry for blinding Kenshi.
I am truly sorry that I blinded you.
I have only myself to blame.
Shang Tsung's anti-Tarkat serum is not a cure for Tarkat.
You have a cure for Tarkat, don't you?
If I did, I'd be a much wealthier man.
It's only enough to treat people with early symptoms.
Was Shang Tsung close to a cure?
He could only treat my symptoms.
Let's break it down. Kenshi somehow has a different origin in each iteration. In Deadly Alliance, he was working with the Special Forces to track down Shang Tsung. In MKX, he was a father. In Snowblind, he was a wanderer looking for challenge. And in M1K, he was in the Yakuza. One good thing about Kenshi in this story is that unlike before, where he's just a cool side character that doesn't do much in the story, NRS realized how much people liked Kenshi and decided to turn him into one of the main characters.
And Snowblind did it too.
Kenshi goes through a pretty
I didn't really like
arc in this
Snowblind that
story,
much.
but unfortunately, we won't be able to see it completed until chapter 6. So I guess this is let's break it halfway. And that's pretty much chapter 4. I feel like not too much happened, yet somehow, this video is longer than the previous 3 I've made. I blame Goro and Kenshi's stupid katana.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what? Goro. All my homies, thanks, Goro.
Oh, my hamies. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my my face capture thing. If at some point it looked like I was pissed, I wasn't. It was my face capture being wonky, so sorry. All right. That was Sonic Mortal Kombat 1 Doesn't Suck. Kenshi. Great as always. Fabulous, funny editing as always. Love it. I can't wait to see the next one. So I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. So please go sub. Go watch him. He's awesome. And as for me, the usual, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely comment, because that really helps the algorithm. And yeah, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey freaks, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, just hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like the video while you're at it. Maybe share it with a friend too. Just little ways you can help my humble little channel grow. I love you all, and I'll see you freaks in the next video. Bye!